Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on this Keurig K-Mini limited edition designed by Jonathan Adler. Now this thing looks really nice, but it is just a standard K-Mini. It's not the K-Mini Plus, this is just a standard K-Mini. I was able to get this on sale at Target for 50 bucks. Normally it goes for around 70. So this looks really nice. Now the first thing is this does not come with it. Even though in the picture, this coffee mug does not come with the box. This is extra. This is $10 extra off the Keurig website, or you can find them on eBay. But a little misleading. I actually thought the coffee mug was going to come with it, but it doesn't. Overall, this thing looks really nice. It takes standard K-cups. It's got the handle here. This is plastic. Overall, it's got a plastic feel to it. But it does have a really nice design. So you lift the handle. It's got your standard needle at the bottom and your needle at the top. This closes real nice. It's got a power button and a single brew button right there. It's got a nice drip tray that comes off. This is the water reservoir. The water reservoir is not removable. It's fixed. You can't remove it. The K-Mini Plus, you can remove the water reservoir. So you're going to have something to fill this up with water. Most people will use their coffee cup, and then they just put their coffee cup down and brew into it. It's got a 6 and a 12. That's ounces. So the minimum is 6 ounces. The maximum is 12 ounces. But you can brew anywhere in between of those. And whatever water you put back here is what it's going to run through the machine. So you're in control each time you want to do your brew of how much water you put in. It's just got a standard brew button. So on other Keurigs you get that have water reservoirs, you select what you want. Like I want a 6 ounce, 10 ounce, whatever. The K-Minis are not that way. They've just got a single brew button. So whatever water you put back here is what it's going to heat up and then shoot through the K-cup. So you're in control of the quantity of how strong or weak your coffee is by how much water you put back here. And I'm going to show you that. So the lid opens and closes very nice. It does have cord storage. It's got a 2-foot cord. It is 3-prong. And it's got a really nice cord storage that comes up and stores. So the K-Mini and K-Mini Plus have the best cord storage I've ever seen. You actually put the cord in there and it has a place to store the cord. I mean, these are kind of meant to take with you. It's very portable, very lightweight. You could take this with you when you want a vacation or something. That's kind of what they're designed for. Dimensions about 11 inches front to back. Just a little over 4 inches side by side. So with the lid down, it's about 12 inches. But with the handle up, it's about 17 inches. So it's going to fit really nice under a kitchen cabinet. So for a standard coffee mug, that's about 6 1/4 inches with the drip tray installed. You can put a travel mug. You got to remove this drip tray. It's pretty nice. It holds if you do an accidental brew. So with the travel mug in there, it's going to do, that travel mug is 7 inches, so it's going to do just a little bit more than 7 inches, not much. This travel mug fits in there just right, but you don't have much more room. So again, let's talk K-cups. It takes any standard K-cup. Now, some manufacturers will put what to brew their K-cups on. Starbucks is really good about that. So if you look on the back, they say when you brew this, use the 8-ounce setting. So this does not have an 8-ounce button you push. You've just got to put in 8 ounces of water. So you'll stop right there. So this is a little bit more work. The more expensive ones, you just press buttons and they got a water reservoir. But these are, you put the water in each time you want to brew a cup of coffee. So if you're new to Keurigs, it's got this handle that lifts up. It's got this needle basket. Be careful, there is a sharp needle down in there and there's one up there. And you just put a K-cup in like this. The foil side is up. You don't poke it down and pierce it yourself. Let the machine do the work. I'm just going to close the handle. So it pokes a hole in the bottom and the top. And I just want to show you. See it there? It poked a hole in the top and it pokes a hole in the bottom. So it's going to inject the hot water at the top and your coffee is going to come out the bottom. Okay, so I think we're ready to brew a cup of coffee. We're going to lift the handle. First thing we're going to do, make sure you got it plugged in. Again, we're just going to put our K-cup right there. We're going to close the handle. It kind of pierces, but it does the job. So here can be the tricky part. I've got a container that I've got water in, and I'm going to use it to put the water in. So I'm just going to pour my water in. I've got to stop it where I want. So I brew my Keurig K-cups on the 8 ounce. So I'm going to stop right on the 8 ounce, right there. Close the lid. If my unit wasn't already on, I would turn it on, but it was on. And when I lifted the handle and put the K-cup in, that light starts flashing. That's saying it's ready to brew. So all I'm going to do is just press this big K button. And what's going to happen is there's a water pump that kicks on. So it's sucking down that 8 ounces of water. And now it's inside a water tank inside here. And now the machine acts like it's not doing anything. It gets really quiet, but you just got to wait. This light is kind of flashing at you, letting you know that it's brewing. It's heating up this water inside a tank. Once it heats it up, then it will shoot it through the K-cup and into your coffee. And we're going to time that and see how long it takes before it starts brewing. Okay, so that took about a minute for it to warm up. Once it warms up, then it starts brewing. And it's not very loud at all. Now we are getting a few splatters. So there you go. In less than in a minute, you've got a cup of coffee. And it shuts itself off automatically, so you don't have to remember to unplug it. Let's do a temperature check. So yeah, 160, 165. That's a really hot cup of coffee. So there's what the coffee looks like. It smells really good. I've done a taste test on this, and it tastes really good. So the thing I was worried about with this being a white unit, you do see it kind of does splatter a little bit when it's brewing the coffee. So I've just brewed 1 cup of coffee, and you do see it does make kind of a mess. So you want to wipe this area off occasionally. Okay, so let's talk clean up. Like I said, the power button will automatically shut off after a little bit. I'm going to lift this. Be careful. These can be hot. And be careful, there is the sharp needle. But you're just going to lift this up. Check out my other YouTube video where I show you how to recycle these. But there's your K-cup that you can just throw in the trash or recycle. So you can see this top needle, you do get some coffee grounds up around it. So when it pokes that hole in the top, you do get some coffee grounds up around there. So you do have to clean this once in a while. Be very careful. That is sharp and it can be hot, but you do have to wipe that off once in a while. So I like to cut K-cups open to show you how it brewed on the inside. There's that hole that it punctured on the bottom, and that's where the coffee comes out. That's where the water gets injected. So on the bottom, you've got this kind of plastic piece, but your coffee is in a filter. Now I cut it I pierced it whenever I was cutting it open, but so your coffee's in a filter. Now let's cut the top open. Okay, here we've got the top. There's 2 tablespoons of coffee in these K-cups. And it's in a nice coffee filter. The coffee filter prevents sediment in your coffee, like a normal coffee maker does. And it does a pretty good job of brewing the coffee. So this was an 8-ounce brew. Again, it doesn't produce a ton of coffee, but it tastes really good. But let's say that coffee was too strong for you, then we need to add 10 ounces for our next K-cup. So we're going to lift our handle, lift it all the way, and then put our K-cup in, close the handle, and when you do that, it turns the power on. So now I want mine a little weaker, so I'm going to put 10 ounces in. And I can go all the way up to 12 ounces. So there's 10 ounces. Then I got my coffee cup in. I'm just going to press the K button. We can watch. It's going to suck down all that 10 ounces of water now. And then the machine stops. It makes you think it's not doing anything, but you just got to be patient. It takes about 30 seconds for it to heat the water up and then shoot it out. So again, you'll hear the machine. It's heating up the water. You can hear the water boiling. And then it turns that water pump back on, and then it shoots the water through the K-Cup. Now they say you're supposed to stir these drinks because it's really strong at first and then it gets a little weaker towards the end. So it's a good idea to stir these drinks before you drink them. So the water coming out of there is like 180. Coffee cools off so quick. So I've got 170. But after you let it sit there for any minute, it just really starts cooling off quick. Again, this is 10 ounces through a K-Cup. Now, they don't make bigger K-Cups. K-Cups only hold 2 tablespoons of coffee. So you just find the happy medium of where you like it. You know, say you like it somewhere in between. You know, just find the spot where you like it. If you like it between 8 and 10, you can kind of find the spot where 9 is. If you like a really strong coffee, just fill it up to the 6. But the 6 is the minimum. That's the minimum they want. So you can't run any lower than that. 6 is a pretty strong cup of coffee. But it's just not much coffee. So again, we're just going to lift this up. There's our K-Cup. We take our K-Cup out. There's the needles. Now the nice thing about this machine, so K-Cups come in all different varieties. You can do teas, hot cocoa, all kinds of different coffees. There's cappuccinos in a K-Cup, there's lattes. Now those are just powders. They don't taste necessarily the best, but you do get some kind of a drink out of it. So let's talk cleanup. Obviously you can take this out and clean up. They don't recommend putting this in the dishwasher. I mean, to me, it says hand wash only. So that is kind of a downfall with the Keurig. You should be able to put this in the dishwasher, but they say not to. Once in a while, you're going to have to wipe this around. But again, be careful of that needle. Those needles do break, so be careful. So this lower needle, this is a basket that comes out. So if you just pinch these tabs and push up from the bottom, there's nothing sharp on the bottom. You can see where I'm pushing, there's nothing sharp. So when I push up from the bottom, that really helps the most, pushing up from the bottom. This whole basket comes out. There's your sharp needle. Again, this is not dishwasher safe, but you can take this apart. The best way is just to kind of break it like that. These are good ideas to clean these once in a while. You can run a paper clip down there if that needle clogs. And they got little tangs. So when you're ready to put it back together, just line the tangs up with the little holes. And it should snap. You know what? This one broke. So that little piece broke off. One of the tangs broke off. Huh. Never had that happen. I think it's still going to work okay. One of the tangs is caught. And it's still on there pretty good. But yeah, this side does come off pretty easy. So I may have to contact Keurig and see if they'll send me a warranty one. To install it, you're just going to make sure you can read, needles, caution sharp needles. You're going to put it in like this. And again, just press down. Make sure it's nice and flush so that when you close this handle, you're not forcing it. That's how you know it's installed. You could break this handle real easy if you didn't have this installed correctly. This is all plastic. So back here with cleanup, the water reservoir, you can't take it out. Whoops, hit the button. So you're going to have to wipe this out. The K Mini Plus, so see how this is just a K Mini? They make a K Mini Plus. The water reservoir is removable. That's pretty nice. Makes it pretty easy to clean. So this one, I'm not sure. You just have to wipe it out once in a while. So it's a good idea to once in a while run a cleaning rinse through it. So lift the handle, make sure there's no K-cup in here. We can just run water through here with no K-cup. So just close the handle. We're going to put our water in here in the back. You can put any amount from 6 to 12. I'm just going to put, let's just go all the way up to the 12. So I've got my water in. I've got a reservoir or a cup here. You're just going to press the K button. Again, it's going to suck that water down. That's going to shoot it through here. And I'll show you why it's a good idea to do those rinses once in a while. Okay, so here is just a fresh water rinse. And sometimes you'll see coffee grounds in the bottom of this. Sometimes your water's a little discolored. It's just a good idea to do these fresh water rinses once in a while to kind of remove some of the leftover coffee grounds and stuff that get in that cake, that needle area. So this water's not super discolored, but there are a few coffee grounds in there. Kind of hard to see. But it just does a really good job of kind of cleaning this whole area, which is really, really good. So I really like the looks of this. This definitely this spruces Keurigs up, because Keurigs, you know, they can look kind of dull. I mean, I do like how Keurigs look anyway. I mean, they look kind of professional looking in that, but this one definitely just really spices it up a lot. Not used to seeing kind of that white color. This is a really color blue. Very simple. One light, one big button for brew, a power button. It automatically turns itself off after it's been sitting there a while. So this is a very, very, very basic Keurig machine. Meant for portability. When you get into the more expensive Keurigs, you can see you've got add water lights, you've got descale lights, you've got over-ice, strong, 6-ounce, you know, all kinds of buttons. So the K-Minis are just very, very simple Keurig machines. You control how much water you put in here, and that's how much it brews. So that's kind of the tricky part. There's no simple button to press. You've got to figure out how much water to put back there. I'm going to be doing other videos, so we want to keep up on descaling. So this does not have a descale light, but we do want to keep up on descaling this. So check out my video. I'm going to show you how to descale it with vinegar and the Keurig solution. I'm also going to do a comparison. So this is just a K-Mini. I'm going to do a comparison with the K-Mini Plus. The K-Mini Pluses look exactly the same, except they've got a strong brew button, and the water reservoir is removable. Again, check out my other videos. I'm also going to show you how to use a reusable K-Cup in this Keurig machine. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you could, please like and subscribe.